Hello there. Here we are. It's a Tuesday in September. I'm excited. Lots of good stuff happening. Lots of good stuff going on. Just want to let you know, again, thank you so much to Carrie Rodriguez at the Beautiful Witch, La Hermosa Bruja, for allowing me to stream to her Facebook channel, Facebook page. I really, really appreciate it. And she is fantastic. She is a great reader. She has awesome stuff for sale on, like, in her merchandise. You should definitely check her out if you haven't already. So, just covering that. Couple of other things. So, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about energy. We've been talking about standing up for yourself. We've been talking about how you feel about yourself, whether you love yourself, like how, I know I have a lot of words for it. I don't want to keep throwing around the word narcissist, but sometimes that's accurate. I mean, I guess I could just say assholes, but whatever. Standing up for ourselves sometimes is a big deal, right? For those of us that were pushovers for a long time, and then for me at least, I went the complete opposite direction. Like, I was a total pushover. I got really damaged as a teenager, and then in my 20s I went the total opposite, worst reaction. I was like, I overcorrected, and I pushed around too much, too hard, too fast. Well, whatever. Your 20s are for learning, right? So I started to correct that a little bit in my 30s. It got better. I got better. I learned, So we've been covering that, but now I'm getting questions from people that I think is so valid and so perfect for this. Is that now people are asking me, a lot of my clients are asking me, what can we do to protect our energy? What can I do to protect myself from people that are just constantly like an energy suck, an energy vacuum vampire, however you want to put this, or that you are constantly absorbing other people's energies. Now, we see this a lot with people that do hands-on work, hairdressers, makeup artists, nail techs, massage therapists, doctors, nurses. Let's don't leave them out of this, right? All these people that are doing Reiki, they should be clearing themselves at the same time, which is why I think it's so important for people to get Reiki treatments. And I am going soon to Becky to get a Reiki treatment. And oh my gosh, and there she is, Gypsy Soul Surfer, Becky. It's so important for you to clear yourselves. And I've watched Reiki practitioners. I've done this myself. Like in between, I thought I had a selenite wand out here just to, give us an example. But there it is. Got it. Okay. So I've seen Reiki practitioners hold a selenite wand and clear themselves in between working on clients. I myself have done that when I do festivals, fairs, where I'm doing a lot of readings back to back. It's because that's extremely stressful. It's really hard. And I stop and I clear myself at least for just a minute, 30 seconds, if that's all I have, whatever time I have. I stop and clear myself with a selenite wand or kyanite. Always a good thing. I love kyanite. That blue kyanite is so wonderful. This particular selenite wand has all the little chakra symbols on them. Love that. So it's very important for these people to clear and cleanse their energy and to make sure that they are being a conduit and not a sponge. Very different, very different. But I think we all know what it's like to be with somebody day in and day out, sleep next to them, like whether it's a spouse or a child, or if we're sleeping in the same house as a sibling or a parent, or, oh my gosh, a roommate. We absorb their energy. And that sucks. I mean, really, it does. And I'm saying this because I love Dr. Seuss. I do. I love Dr. Seuss. But god dang, sleeping next to him when he is amped up, when his when his anxiety's through the roof or there's something going on with him, it does not give Jennifer peaceful sleep. That doesn't happen. That's not conducive to peaceful sleep for Jennifer. So I know I'm speaking about myself in the third person. My apologies. But the thing is, it does, like, we have to clear our energy. We have to clear our space. And I want to talk about some of the things that I found. So I have books and books on this stuff. I mean, seriously, I have books on it. Which leads me to the other thing, is that my office is coming together. It doesn't look like it behind me right now, but my office, you would not believe, it is finally coming together. I finally got like some of the stuff that I've ordered for my office. I've finally gotten it in. One of the things that I ordered was this big arm thing that is going to hold my overhead camera so I can start doing my videos again. So excited about that, because honestly, before I redid my office, I had 3 tripods in front of this monitor, like on the other side of it. And one held my overhead camera, and then I had 2 for lights. And every time the dogs walked by it, or my kids came down and visited into my office, or the cats, oh my gosh, the cats, I just would lose my mind, because, like, all my shit was just getting moved, and like, oh, I have to redo it. So now I have this totally different setup. Everything is either clamped down or is bolted to the wall, which I love. I can't even tell you guys. It's just so exciting, like, having all of this stuff come together, having, like, everything put together. So anyway, I'm saying all that to tell you I couldn't find all of my books. What a shocker. I mean, but I couldn't find all of my books. Some of my books are back here, just a little bit of them. But I'm getting new bookcases in, and actually they're not new bookcases. I bought them used, whatever. I just thought they were pretty. So anyway, I've got bookcases that are coming in. And so I don't have all my books unpacked. So it's a little bit difficult to find my books. However, I did find a couple of things that I wanted to, discuss with you that were in the books that I could find. But I also found a fountain of information online. So I started by being really, really, like, can we call this general? I was very general about it. Yeah, I'm not being unique at all. This is not like a brand new thing. I went to Google and I was like, how can you protect your energy? Oh boy, that's inspirational, isn't it? Yeah, I'm so much fun. So let me tell you some of the things that came up, and the things that I agree with and the things that I don't agree with. But let me tell you something. This is just suggestions. You take with you what works for you, what is sustainable, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Some of this stuff does not work for me, okay? Some of this stuff is not something that I can put in my daily life. It's not something I can work on. It doesn't fit, okay? You take out of this what fits with you, what works with you, what resonates with you, and you say, okay, this is something I can work on. you may be able to add some of these things later on. There's some of these things that I would not have been able to do years ago. There are some of these things that I can't, I do now. Hey, Michelle, how are you? So there's a lot there's a lot here. Listen to the sites that I'm telling you, okay? And I am going to give you some sites here for you to look at. And I want you to do what is workable for you, okay? I am essentially going to go through a lot of stuff that you don't need crystals for, that you don't need essential oils for, that you need no tools for, that you just need yourself. But I'm also going to talk about a few crystals. I'm going to touch on a little bit of essential oils, just a little, because this particular book, which, oh my gosh, Scott Cunningham, freaking awesome, by the way. This book is fantastic. If you ever run into this book, if I can get it to get in focus, I don't know what's going on with my camera. This is a fantastic book. Really, anything by Scott Cunningham, fabulous, awesome. Yes, okay. Becky on Gypsy Soul Surfer on YouTube right now is saying she sprays a salt circle around herself every day as well. Absolutely. That is something I'm going to talk about, is salt. The wonderful, wonderful healing properties of salt. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's go through this, because there are some people that we literally cannot get away from. And our kids, whether they're small or adults, they're a little bit more distant, but honestly, we still have that tie to them. We still have that cord to them. Our spouses, our significant others, our parents, our siblings, like close friends, whatever, roommates especially. This is a hard one. Okay, but let's go through some of these things. Tell me how. And a lot of these things are repetitious, so I tried to filter them out, but yeah, I'm going to repeat them. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I'll repeat them, and I'll probably say, all right, I've already talked about this, but we're going through them. Okay, so when I Googled this, I found this one site called Quora, Quora. Quora. It's similar to Reddit. I really liked this one because someone did ask the question, what are some tips or tricks for protecting ourselves from people that are taking our energy without knowing it? Oh, that's a good question. So there were two people that really stood out to me on here. And they both happen to be practitioners, which, what a shocker, right? Really, what a shocker. So the first one was Amy, A-M-I-E. I'm going to butcher her last name. I'm not even going to try to say it correctly. S-A-P-I-E-C-H-A. Fantastic answer here. She is a holistic health practitioner. And what she answered is that as soon as you become drained, you've handed your power over to another. Okay, I kind of a little bit agree with that, a little bit. You are either feeling their energy or you have not protected your own by tapping into the universal life force energy that surrounds us. I do agree with that, 100%. Energy cords have a lot to do with this, as is doing things for others that are not in our own best interests at the time. Oh, yeah. So she says, as soon as you feel drained, stop what you're doing, take a few deep breaths, ask yourself who this is in relation to, and trust yourself, trust what surfaces in you, so that you can, because you need to understand anything further that's like truly not essential in your life. Where's all this anxiety? Where's it coming from? Like, where are we headed? So then you ask yourself, what is in my best interest right now? And you may get a couple of things. You may get Go drink a glass of water. Spray a salt circle around yourself. Take some deep breaths, or just step outside and touch a tree. Those are my things. Because when I read this, I was like, that's how I feel. Right there. That's how I feel. So that's a big thing. Is just to stop and like take a few deep breaths and just go, okay, what's going on? Am I doing this because this is not in my best interest? Is that why I'm getting like hit here? Am I doing something that is not in my best interest? I think, again, we all have that, right? We've all done it. When we felt obligated to do something, we felt like obliged to like do something, join in, go somewhere that we didn't want to go. All of those things. Yeah. So stop what you're doing, take a few deep breaths, and just say, okay, all right. What's happening and what do I need to do? And that's when you say, what is in my best interest right now? She's really, really good with this. I do, like, I'm in that. I totally feel, yeah, it makes sense. But the thing is, I don't necessarily feel like that you're just handing over your power to someone else. You may be doing that, yes, but I don't feel like, for all of us, I don't feel like we're doing it on purpose. I think that people can just come up and they can like reach out and touch our energy. And it's not because we're giving away our power. It's not because we're giving up our energy. I just think there's a lot of people out there carrying a lot of negative energy. I think there's a lot of, I don't want to say entities, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are just like, they need it. They need that. They need your good energy. They need that in order for them to continue on. So, again, that was she was really good. I liked that. And she does say that you can ask at some point, you can say, like, you can ask and just be like, I need to cut this off. Like, how do I stop this? Like, attachment. That's the word that I was looking for. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was just like, what is wrong with me? I cannot think of this. It's attachments. Because people do have attachments walking around. And I'm not necessarily calling them demonic or anything like that. I'm talking about attachments, like addictions. That shit needs to be fed. And it could be addiction to shopping. It could be addiction to, I don't know, sugar for me. I mean, 100%. Like attachments. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, whatever. It could be sex. Lots of attachments out there. Many to choose from. Okay. Anything that is just a bad habit. Yeah, it's there. So the other one was this guy named John Shore, another practitioner. And he says, oh, by the way, this is from like years ago, just letting you know. Like one answer was from 1 year ago, one is from 6 years ago. So this is not brand new, but I want to give credit here. And again, this is on the site, Quora, Quora. It's similar to Reddit. So, he is answering the question, how do I stop someone from vampirically stealing my energy in a setting where I can't leave? So maybe this is a setting where you are asleep next to that person, or in the same house or in the same apartment as that person. If you share an office, if you're in an office situation, and your cubicle or your desk is very close to someone who is this energy sucking person, or a narcissist, or just an asshole. You know, they don't have to be a narcissist. They can just I mean, they can just have asshole tendencies. I mean, I've met those people. I mean, I've been that person too. I have definitely been the villain in some people's stories. Yeah. But I also hope I've been the opposite as well. I'm trying to make up for it. Okay. So this is what he recommends. He recommends, and I've heard this before too, imagining a bubble of light all around you. Nothing gets in and out without your permission. 100% love that. No one can hook into you without your permission. And anyone who is connected to you can get, like, that is getting that energy without your permission is immediately disconnected. Immediately disconnected. I do like that, but it's hard to visualize sometimes. It is. If you're being drained by another person, imagine that you see a line of energy in front of them. That you see a line in front of them, or an energy line connecting the two of you, and you need to break it. You need to break it. You need to cut it. You need to shatter it in some way. And cut it until you really feel the disconnect, and that you really feel that, like, connecting. You can keep disconnecting and use the bubble of light. You can do that simultaneously. And some people, he says, some people will complain that they feel distanced or disconnected from you. And yes, I see this all the time when people are trying to sever a cord between themselves, and especially, oh my gosh, especially an ex. When we are severing cords between ourselves and an ex, that ex will almost always pick up the phone, call us, text us, email, like, send us a message on social media. I'm just like, seriously, dude? No. Continue on. You're doing it right. But if you don't want to sever those cords permanently, let's go this way. Okay. Let's see. Physical or emotional. Where am I at? Oh. So he also talks about mindfulness. And I know that that's something that's going around on TikTok right now. But this is a good thing. Pay close attention to everything that is within you and around you. Every thought, emotion, belief, physical sensation, every sound, sensation, sight, and activity. Because you need to see, again, is this coming from you or to you? If it is very foreign to you, and I think all of us, by my age, I feel like I've experienced pretty much all the emotions, I would say. But when I feel something very foreign coming in, I'm like, oh, what is this? Well, this is new. I stop and go, this has got to be coming, like, to me, not from me. I don't recognize this. So that's a huge clue right there, is when I stop and I take some breaths and I pay attention, close attention to everything within me and around me. And I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? Because this feels very foreign. It feels very different. Yeah. So what we need to do is find our sense of peace here. Okay. That's where we have to, like, sit back and go, I'm not judging someone else for feeling this way, but it's not mine. It's not mine. I can help them get rid of it. You can be the conduit, practice Reiki. And by the way, if you're wanting to take a Reiki class, I'm hoping that our friend Becky, Gypsy Soul Surfer, is going to be teaching one of those soon. But there's lots of good Reiki practitioners out there that are, like, teaching classes. So you want to be a conduit and you want to get that out. You don't want to be the sponge and hang on to it. Help that other person get that energy out of themselves and release it out, especially into the earth, just sending it into spirit, but do not hold on to it. Don't cling to that, okay? Because it's not yours. It's not your baggage. You don't need to carry that. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You can sit back and you can just be like, judging them for this, I'll help them get rid of it, but I need my peace back. So that's one place that I found, and I really, really liked it. I liked those two in particular. Now, yeah, let's go to the next item up for bid. Asana, ASANA. I really liked this one. It was how to protect your energy in a chaotic world. Okay. So the first thing it did was define what protecting your energy means. And I get this. I like it. Well, hello, Alethea. I like to add a layer of violet light for transmutation to my bubble. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Becky. Hey, Joy. And I'm not a master yet. I did not know that. You seem like a master, Becky. Okay, so Asana, which they are at asana.com. Asana defines protecting your energy is the practice of working sustainably and removing negativity and distractions from your life. It's a way to safeguard your mental and emotional reserves in the long run so you can pace yourself and stay motivated over time. I do agree with that. Kind of. What is going on? Oh, I'm getting notified on my phone. So I do kind of agree with that. I think that there are some necessary distractions, but I think there's a lot of unnecessary distractions, as just happened with my phone when I was just like, I'm getting notified. Well, I should have turned the damn thing off while I was doing my show, but that's okay. That's okay. But there's a lot of things that I leave this on. So like during the day, if my kids need me, if they're at school or if something's going on, that I get notifications, especially when I'm with a client. I have a tendency to get really focused and I won't like go back and check my phone after. But if I get a notification, it'll like, trigger me to go back and look later on to see what's happening, to make sure that my kids are okay, because I've already had to pick them up this week. Yeah, I know. There's a stomach bug going around Cobb County. Yay! Who's happy about that? Yeah, talk about energy sucker. Okay, so we're on Asana, and this is how to protect your energy in a chaotic world. And they give like 9 research-backed ways to protect your energy. And again, I do understand these. The first one is to limit your distractions, like turning off the notifications for apps, like email, social media, all of that stuff. Yes, I do agree with that, but maybe not all of them. I mean, as some of them I need, like with my calendar to let me know that I have another appointment, because otherwise sometimes I'll be on the phone with my clients for a really long time and I'll be just like talking to them because I really like them. I'll be talking to them and then I'm like, oh shit, I have another appointment. I got to go. So it's nice to have that kind of notification, and it is nice to get the notifications for my kids in case they need me from the school. So yeah, but some of the other distractions, like I don't need to know about all this political mess that I'm like constantly getting messaged about. Really? Do these people know me at all? Yeah. So do not disturb mode could be our friend. It really could. Let's see. Close browser tabs. Okay, that is me. That is a fault that I have. I currently have, I don't know, probably 20, 30 browser tabs open, along with something in my eye, apparently. But you know, that's crazy. Why do I have that many open? Why do I have that many open? It's just stuff that I'm afraid I'm going to forget. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is something that I've been reading about, and it's about putting our phones or any of our devices in a drawer before we go to sleep, even if they're not on. Like when we go to sleep and it's beside us, there's something about the electromagnetic field that it does disturb our sleep. So putting our phones and our devices in a drawer or even in another room, like while we're sleeping, is a good idea. But again, excuse me, a lot of us need that, like in case of an emergency kind of thing. Like if we're the emergency person in our family, we may need it. So putting it in a drawer would be best. Block off time on your calendar so that you can focus on your tasks. And that also goes along with like setting a do not disturb on like other things so it doesn't distract you. I think that's it. I think this is good. It's good because these are a huge drain, but these are not people. You know what I mean? The second one that they put is taking breaks. And they suggest like, because they said that breaks really boost your activity, it boosts your productivity, which I do agree with. Micro breaks, like breaks through the week, and breaks like through the month. And I kind of get that. So the micro breaks would be like breaks throughout your day. And then the meso breaks are like breaks throughout the week. And macro breaks are breaks throughout the month. So the breaks throughout the week is like where you set aside 1 to 2 hours for you to do something that you're shutting everything else off, whether you're doing something for fun or you're taking lessons in something or you're going to get your nails done, which, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fantastic? Going to get your hair done again. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fantastic? I would love to go get my hair done. I just have not had the time. And, but this is like that kind of thing. And then taking maybe a half or a full day off once a month to just sort of recharge yourself. Go do something outside. I have friends that do this once a week. I love that, by the way. They'll get a lot more out of their days because they do that. Okay, so with other people, the third thing that comes up is setting boundaries. This does help the energy stealers, the energy, whatever, however you want to call it, vampires, attachments, whatever. It does help keep them at a distance when you set boundaries and you start saying no. This is especially hard to do with work. This is especially hard to do because usually, you know, I always got guilted into coming in on my day off or working extra hours or something because they knew I either needed the money or they were standing in front of me and they were like, please, I really need this. And I felt guilty because I was like, I'm sure there was a time in my life that somebody did this for me. So I would just be like, I don't want to, but I will, because I didn't want to say no. Yeah. And now I'm my own boss and I have a hard time telling my boss no. I mean, because, she's a real bitch. But I do have a hard time telling myself no. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And I just overload myself. And then I'm like, I have a hard time telling myself no. Yeah, I know. It's so much fun. So much fun. So setting boundaries, practice saying no is difficult. It really is. But practicing saying no with your friends, your family, your coworkers, yeah, it's important. So this is really hard for me too, is starting like clear start and finish times of your workday. I blur those lines all the time. I really do. I have now actively started taking days off during the week, especially on the weekends, where I leave my work phone in the office, a step away from it, and I just carry around the personal phone. I know, isn't that fun carrying around two phones? It's not. I keep an organized pyramid between me and my phone at night. Okay, Becky, that is a fantastic solution. That is a fantastic solution. I need to move my selenite so it's between me and my phones, because I have a big selenite tower that I keep beside my bed. Nothing unpacked. Nothing. So I can't really show you what I mean, it's also up in my bedroom. But the thing is, the organite pyramid is a fantastic idea. Other crystals between you and your phone at night, fantastic idea. Fantastic. Oh, Michelle, what would be a daily thing? Because I feel like I missed it. Oh my gosh, I messed up. Limiting distractions. I could see if that was, yeah, I could see that. Let's see. Oh, here's one that I have a hard time doing. Normalizing longer response times. Back in the day, before cell phones, we had to leave somebody a message at their house or at their work. We didn't get instant gratification with the phone calls, with emails, because I remember in the 90s and really even into the 2000s a bit, the emails that I had were only for those companies. They were only for those companies. It wasn't like I had a Yahoo email address, but nobody ever sent me anything, you know? So it's very interesting, like how today we'll call somebody, and I'm just as bad as it. I'll call my mom and I'll be like, she didn't answer? Is she at the doctor? Is she in the emergency room? Like, what the hell? Why didn't she answer her phone? Maybe she's busy. Maybe she's in the shower. Maybe she just turned that shit off because she don't want to hear from you. You know, it's challenging. But that's the thing. We have this thing of like texting and stuff where we're like, I feel like a lot of times that like people expect to hear back from me immediately. So when I leave my work phone in my office and I step away for Saturday and Sunday, and maybe I come and like answer texts or answer calls or respond or whatever on Sunday night to get ready for the week ahead, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I truly don't. Because I remember the days when it would take like time for people to call you back, you know? Leave a message on the answering machine. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. This one I really like. It's number 5. It's pay attention to your emotions. I think that for me, paying attention to my emotions helps me understand when I'm putting too much on myself at work, when I should be saying no, when I should be saying yes, or when something is coming to me instead of from me. Paying attention to my emotions helps me keep from being overwhelmed. It helps me to step back and not overwork myself, because I mean, in numerology, I'm also a 22-4, and 22-4 people will like overwork themselves. Where is it? Right here. It's massively overworking themselves. I mean, I don't know why I do that. Really, it's just hardwired. Hardwired. That's what it is. Yeah, overwork can cause stress. What a shocker. Yeah. So being patient, that's a challenge for me. Then it also helps me to understand when I'm starting to feel anxiety. Again, is that anxiety coming from me or to me? The biggest thing here is trying meditation. It's telling you that this may be time for you to take a step back. And when you're listening to your emotions, when you're really in touch with your emotions, when you're practicing emotional intelligence, that's what it says here. When you're practicing emotional intelligence and you can understand your emotions and recognize that it's yours or someone else's, when you can do that, you can stop, you can take some deep breaths, you can meditate, you can go outside and touch a tree. I do this all the time. I do this many times during the day because there is an enormous tree right outside of my office, and I love it. I love the fact that I'm working from home and my office is behind my house, and I can go outside, I can touch that tree, I can walk outside, I can put my feet in the grass, I can like get grounded, and I can clear myself very quickly that way. It does make me feel better. Okay, number 6, and this is a really hard one, I feel like, is understand what drains your energy. Now, here's the thing that bothers me about this particular like number, or this particular one, the understand what drains your energy, is sometimes it's not us, right? This is why we need to know how to protect our energy, how we need to protect ourselves from a lot of the people out there, or from people that we're close to. There is a reason why if you ever see me in Walmart, Target, Costco, or Sam's, those are the biggest places I go to. And occasionally, if I'm feeling fancy, I'll go to Kohl's. I think I told somebody that this week on the phone. If I'm feeling especially fancy, I'm going to go to Kohl's and go shopping. But when you see me out at Walmart, Target, Sam's, or Costco, what you will see me is with headphones in my ears, because I am listening to a book. 9 times out of 10, I'm listening to a book. I'm listening to music occasionally. I mean, you know, sometimes it's hard to like listen to the Humpty Dance in your head and not want to sing it out loud in Sam's, and then you look like an idiot, and you know, I don't need to be on YouTube for that. We don't need that. So, and I do love the Humpty Dance, by the way. So anyway, I listen to books a lot because it helps me to stay out of other people's energies, because I go into those places and somebody is always fighting. Somebody's pissed off at their kids, their spouse, their parents, whatever. There's somebody in that store that is arguing, fighting, frustrated. The stores that I go to also are probably not full of the richest people in Cobb County. And so you can tell that they're stressed about money, and they're just like, oh my gosh, do I have the money to buy this? Do I have the money to pay for this? I don't need to feel all of that energy. I've got enough of my own. So I try to just like let it pass by me, and I just try to stay focused on what I'm listening to. And it's real easy for me to get into a book and just be like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So that that for me is understanding that going into those places gives me a headache. It drains my energy unless I have somebody to talk to, somebody to constantly distract me. Dr. Seuss is really good about that. Or if I'm listening to something, that's how I protect my energy in those places. I constantly have something else funny. I love hilarious books, something that makes me, sit up and like pay attention to what's going on in my head. The trees release their own essential oils into the air too. Yes, they do, Becky. Yes, they do. Love that. Love that. So now that's also where essential oils and crystals could also come in handy. If you don't like listening to audiobooks or music when you're going into those stores, I get it. But essential oils and crystals will definitely come in handy in those situations. Just like I tell people, I tell my clients, and I've been telling my students this for like 15, 20 years. What you do when you're studying for something, because this is what I did as a student, is I would put my favorite essential oil all over my hands and my arms. I would just bathe myself in it, and that's how I would study, with that smell. And then when I would go to take the test, I would put that same smell, that same scent back on, because the olfactory is so powerful. It goes straight to the brain, and it cements it there. So having that kind of essential oil, if you find something that really calms you and really soothes you, then have that in your pocket, in your purse, like somewhere where you can get to it, in your car, in your office, next to your bed, whatever, and put it on your hands and just put it on your arms, something that you can smell. But don't put it right here, because then you can't get the scent away and you'll give yourself a headache. It's a mess. Yeah. Just letting you know, experience. So going for a walk is really good. When you understand what drains your energy, you can start to understand what replenishes it. So if it's someone at work, avoid them. If it's someone that you can't avoid, you're just like, yeah, I got to put some distance between us just for a minute. I'll put it back. I'll reinstate it once I get set. Or you can also do the Reiki part, where you are pulling the energy and you're being the conduit and you're releasing it out. You don't need to hold on to anything that is not yours. Okay, number 7. I really, really like this. Declutter your space. Now, I know behind me looks like just crazy amounts of shit. I have been decluttering. That's why I was just like, I don't want all the tripods on the other side of this monitor, because I know they're there. I have to look at them partially, but it drives me crazy. I feel closed in, even though I'm not. My desk setup right now is set up like a U, and I'm more closed in here than I was in my other space in the other room. And I don't feel that pressure on me, because there's not 3 tripods sitting on the other side of this monitor. So decluttering that, and we're in a really good time to declutter, because we are in retrograde season. And I don't necessarily think that Mercury retrograde is the best time to do that, because then you might throw away the wrong shit. But Mercury retrograde is over. We should be coming out of the shadow period. I know, take a deep breath, right? But we're in a good place. It's time for us to really start to declutter. And having all these bigger planets that are retrograde right now, it is a good time for us to just rethink, reestablish, reorder. Let's clear this clutter. Clearing out clutter from your environment definitely will help you with your focus. And it helps you to retain more of your energy. It helps you to keep more of your energy in balance. Okay? Number 8 and number 9, I really like these. But number 8 is hard for someone like me because number 8 is don't aim for perfection. Really? Virgo sun, Capricorn rising. What are you talking about? Don't aim for perfection. I mean, if I'm not going to aim for perfection, why am I doing it? Right? Right? I know. I'm joking. But there's a lot of things that you can do to protect your energy that may not be the most perfect. Decluttering is one of those things. Taking breaks, setting boundaries. We're not always going to be perfect at those things. Taking down the distractions. You're going to do the best that you can do. It's never going to be perfect. It's not. And number 9 is my favorite, and it's practicing gratitude. Practicing gratitude doesn't seem like it would help you protect your energy, but it does. It truly, truly does. Practicing gratitude is going to help you to see that you do have everything that you need. And especially if you're saying, I'm very grateful that you've helped me distance myself from this person, place, or thing that is taking out my energy, that is removing my peace from my life. And that's the crux of it right there. Protecting your energy is protecting your peace. It is protecting the peace that you have in your life. It's removing negativity, and it's helping you, like Asana said in their definition, it's helping you to safeguard your mental and emotional reserves. That's important. That is important. Okay, what am I missing here? Change of seasons coming, so it is a great time. You're absolutely right, Michelle. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. And Michelle, you're also right about this. Michelle is on Facebook. Michelle says it brings in positive energy. Absolutely. When you're decluttering, when you're organizing, and you're removing distractions, all of those things, even setting boundaries, that helps to bring in positive energy, because we're also increasing the chi. We're also like changing up the feng shui when we're decluttering, and when we're removing distractions. That changes up the feng shui, and that is also helping our energy. It absolutely is. Now, I want to get back to like people, not just like places and things that are disruptive. I want to get back to people. So the next place I found was Hive. It is hive.com, Hive, hive.com. Some of these are again repeating, but some of them are worth repeating. Okay. So tune into how you're feeling is the first one for them. If you're stressed, are you overwhelmed? Are you irritable? Do you have tension in your body? So paying attention to how you feel. And again, is this foreign? Is this a foreign feeling? Is this something that normally doesn't like affect you or take hold of you? This is something that you need to like assess. Okay. Because if we're feeling off kilter and you're just like, well, I'm not usually this hateful. I'm not usually this scared. I'm not usually this like insecure. And you stop and you go, oh, I'm not usually. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? And this does happen to a lot of people who have to speak in front of others. It's not just, it happens like a lot of people absorbing the energy are the hands-on people. They're people that are touching someone. And I gave you that list earlier, like nail techs, hairdressers, makeup artists, estheticians, massage therapists, Reiki practitioners, doctors, nurses. All of these people have to like interact with someone that they are touching, and they're picking up on some of their energy, whether they know it or not. However, we do have people like teachers and public speakers, when they are up in front of a group, a small, a large group, it doesn't matter, and they're speaking, they're picking up on all of that. They're picking up a lot of debris. That's what I like to call it. This happened to me in the classroom so many times, and I know that some of my students probably thought that I was off my rocker, because I would be like, you know what? There's just a lot. Like, we got a lot of negative stuff going on here right now. Let's step outside. Let's just step outside and like feel some different energy. Let's write all our worries down. And I would bring white paper bags to class with me. I would be like, let's write all our worries down on a piece of paper, drop it in the white sack, and I'm going to burn it. I did this often. Yeah. So those kind of things do help you also to protect your energy. If you're a teacher, or if you're a public speaker, if you're like someone who's training people, oh my gosh, someone that is training someone for a new job, can you imagine the anxiety that they have to feel all the time training new people to come into a new position? Yeah, that would suck. That would suck. Setting boundaries helps conserve your energy. We've gone through that. Using mindfulness to limit your exposure to negativity. Okay, sometimes we can do that, right? Sometimes we can avoid negative places, or if we're going into places where we know we're going to feel some negativity, we wear headphones. That's what I do. Using essential oils or carrying around crystals with you will also help with that. But that's being mindful and limiting your exposure there, or protecting yourself while you're in it. It's like being out in the sun. You know, we do need that vitamin D. We do need to be out in the sun's rays because it is very healing. But too much of a good thing causes a sunburn. So what do? We protect ourselves. You don't need to go SPF 1000, but you do need to protect yourself from the sun and receive beneficial things from it at the same time, right? Yes. So use mindfulness to limit your exposure to the negativity. How much of that SPF energy protection do you need to be using? Find your happy place. Well, absolutely. Sometimes we do need to have an escape in our mind. I love it. I built a tree house as my happy place about 22 years ago when I broke my arm. I built a tree house. I've been adding to it, and I've been making some very interesting things happen to this tree house. So I've gotten quite creative with it. So my happy place is really decked out. So find a happy place and go there in your mind. I mean, my tree house is lovely, and that tree has definitely gotten bigger. Yeah, so is the tree house. I mean, you know, I'm a pack rat. So beware of your triggers. Yeah, I have something to say about that. But yes, beware of your triggers. Create a sanctuary, also like finding a happy place. But your sanctuary can be just something like that's real in the physical. I have a friend that has a prayer closet. And she has all her favorite things in that closet. She has her favorite cushion. She has a snuggly blanket. She has candles that she doesn't burn in there, but she has like posters that she likes, pictures that she likes. She put them in the closet. I'm down with it. She has her favorite deck of cards. She has a picture of her grandmother. You know, it's that kind of thing. She set up a sanctuary for herself. And it's probably a little bit of an altar too. But yeah, it's definitely a place where she can go and she can recoup. Clean your physical and mental spaces. Yes, decluttering is definitely a way to do that. Also cleaning your house. Cleaning your house is also very grounding. John Holland says in one of his books that the best way for him to ground after doing a lot of energy work is to clean a toilet. And I get that. I get that. But when you're cleaning your physical spaces, also clean out your social media pages. Clean out your social media pages. Are there people, and I know this is true because it's happened to me, are there people that you're just keeping on your social media page because you just want to know what they're doing? You don't like them. You don't like their energy. It's just like a little bit of the nosiness. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to know what's going on with them. Like you feel like you just can't step away. You can step away. Yeah, you can step away. I stepped away from social media for like 3.5 months. I know. There were people actually sending me messages like, are you still alive? Yeah. Yeah. I just need a break. I needed a break. I just needed to be down for, like rebuilding purposes. Okay. So, yes, make sure that you are cleaning out your social media pages. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh, it is 10 o'clock. Okay. There's just a couple of things left. Trust your gut, which also has to do with you trusting yourself. And we've been talking about that for the past couple of weeks. Building a solid social circle. Absolutely. 100%. What I like about the circle that I am still constructing, that I'm still building, and that evolves with me is people that like either recognize when I'm having like a little bit of a moment and they're just like, I don't know what's going on with you. I understand that you're taking a break. I just want to let you know I'm sending energy your way. I'm lighting a candle for you. I'm doing distance Reiki on you. I'm here when you need me. All of those things, that's my tribe, 100%. Those people that like call me up, or those people that when I reach out to them and they're just like have an attitude with me because they're like, well, I haven't seen you. You haven't done anything. And I'm like, I had some issues. I needed to take a break. And when they do that, I'm like, ooh, no. Or the people that like when I do pull my head out of my ass and I call them up, or they pop up and they're just like, oh my gosh, I missed you so much. How are you? Again, we're in. That's a good tribe. That's a good social circle. So you look at those people that, do they make you feel guilty for something? Not your people. No. You shouldn't feel guilty. You shouldn't feel guilt into like making sure that all of those people are taken care of before you take care of yourself. Build a solid social circle. One that I'm not a big fan of, but I do encourage people to do this on occasion, is build a wall. Is putting that protective energy around you. The only time that I say really build a wall is when you're truly trying to disconnect from someone. I do say like put up a fence, put up a bubble, separate yourself out. Like put something between you and that other person, a physical something if necessary. Or again, just in your mind, just set up this wall. The problem that I have with building a wall to protect yourself from negative energy is that sometimes people build it very solidly and they block out the positive energy. They block out the good shit. Or they block out a relationship with that person. And that's not where we want to be most of the time. If I'm just tired and I don't want to deal with Dr. Seuss's anxiety, which I try to take a lot off of him, but if I don't want to deal with that, I'm not going to build a wall. I'm going to use the light bubble. And I really, really like Becky, Gypsy Soul Surfer. I love her idea of adding the layer of violet light into her bubble, because it's for like transmuting that energy that other people are sending you or that you're taking off of someone else. Very important. Very important. So that being said, if you have to build a wall, make sure that you're not blocking out the positive, okay? Because just like when we take antibiotics, the antibiotics destroy the bad bacteria that we have in our bodies. Yes, I get that, but it also destroys the good bacteria. So we have to replace it. That's something to think about, okay? If you build a wall, make sure you're not keeping that shit up forever. All right, stop giving away your energy. Okay, we talked about this a little bit. I don't feel like that we are necessarily giving away our energy, but there are people that are out there actively trying to take energy away from someone that's like big, like Beyonce or Jennifer Aniston. I mean, they're actively trying to take energy away from those people. And it's because they have a lot to give. They have a lot to give. So they have to put distance between themselves and the public. They have to put some kind of wall up. They have to. Yeah. So that way their energy isn't just being snatched away from them. And last but not least, I love this one. And again, this is on hive.com, is control that ego. Oh, yeah, that's a big one, because the ego wants us to react to the wrong things. The ego expects us to act to like negative influences. It's throwing things in our path that don't really matter. And I think that this is it. It's true. And this says, be honest with yourself about how much you choose to obsess over that perfectly Instagrammed life. People on Instagram, that shit is not real. It is so not. I have 2 clients right now, did not realize they were dating the same man, by the way. He went and got himself engaged to another woman that neither one of them knew about. They didn't even know about each other. But they're looking at them on Instagram right now and going, oh my gosh, but they look so perfect on Instagram. They're telling me this. They're sending me screenshots of this man and this other woman's Instagram. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. You've been in her place. Did you feel that good? You've been where that woman is right now. Were you happy? No, you were still begging that man for attention. I said, I'll bet you have a million pictures like this on your phone right now that you could post to Instagram. And it would look like the 2 of you were just like amazing. You were happy. You're ready to move on to the next step in life. And I was like, but that's not where you are. Instagram perfect is not real. It's not real. I mean, I like to look at Jason Momoa and Lenny Kravitz on Instagram, but that's a different story. But those things, it's not real life. It's not. Yeah. So make sure that you are not comparing yourself to others, that you're not obsessing over like, how can I be like this? It's not a good idea. Do not compare yourself to Beyonce. Beyonce is pretty freaking great. She is extremely talented. I'm sure she is like loving her family. But you know, she and her also a billionaire husband have some issues. And she's turned it into like millions of dollars in songs. But the thing is, like, they have some issues. And I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay having problems with Dr. Seuss without having that like billionaire status between us. I can't even imagine. So don't compare yourself. Don't. It's not good for your mental or your physical health. It's not. Let's see. But yes, giving yourself away, letting other people like take away your peace and your happiness, that's giving away your power. It is. And if you don't let it affect you, if you just ignore them, it's not easy, but it's worth it. It is so worth it to see them pissed off because you didn't react. Oh my gosh, it's so worth it. Okay, what am I doing? Jason Momoa. I know. My mom sent me a happy birthday text, like, like early morning, the morning of my birthday. She sent me a birthday morning text, and she sent me a picture of Jason Momoa, and I was like, oh my gosh, is he my present? He was not, but that's okay. I mean, Dr. Seuss isn't bad. He's not bad on the eyes. I mean, I don't have to tell him how much I'm talking about Jason Momoa. He knows. He knows. When I'm just like, what do you think about the Aquaman movie? He's like, I'm not going to see that with you. I'm not going to see that with you. You can go see that with somebody else, some of your little friends. The movie Twisters. Oh my gosh. That guy, Glenn Powell, shut up. Oh, that was yummy too. I went to see that by myself. It was really good. I mean, it was really good. It was a great plot, but oh my gosh, a white t-shirt in the rain. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Becky, I can assure you I would share. Although I'm in a little bit of a competition with one of my friends about Lenny Kravitz. And that heifer thinks she's going to win him. But yeah, I mean, it goes Tom Selleck, Lenny Kravitz, Jason Momoa, and I'm adding Glenn Powell to the list. He's made the top 5. Yeah. Yeah. It's good times. It's good times. So, really controlling the ego is a huge one. And if you feel like someone is in competition with you, or someone that's pushing their energy off on you, and that is trying to steal your peace, steal your happiness, just be like, yeah, I'm gonna let you have that. Just walk away. Whatever you got to do. Let them think they've won. I've done that many times. It does work. Let them think they've won and just be like, and go do your thing. Don't compete with them. Keep going. That is protecting your energy. It is. It is. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I do want to talk to you about meditating in another show, because meditating is not always sitting on a cushion with your legs in the lotus position going, I can't do that. Meditating for me is like working in my garden. Organizing my closet can be meditative. I've discovered I'm not good at painting, but my mom finds that very meditative. So that's not my jam. But those kind of things. Exercise can be like a form of meditation. It doesn't just have to be you sitting in the lotus position with It doesn't have to just be that. It doesn't. For me, taking a bath in salt water, that's my jam. So we'll talk more next week about meditation. I'm going to go over some of the crystals and the essential oils and stuff that we can use. Tonight was more about like things that you don't need tools for. Okay? Take a deep breath. Just call in white light. Just call in white light to clear you and then put the bubble over yourself. That's a good one. Taking a bath or a shower with Dr. Teal's body wash, because it has salt in it, also good. I like to take a bath in salt. One of my friends who's also a practitioner told me that I needed to start washing clothes in salt. I do that sometimes too, like the pink Himalayan salt. I just put like a 1/4 cup of salt in the wash, especially the clothes that I wear when I'm doing clearings on people's properties, their homes, their offices, and I'm like absorbing some of that. Like I definitely wash my clothes in that. And bed sheets, because your bed sheets absorb a shit ton of energy. Yeah. And I like to put my pillows out in the sun, you know, at least monthly, maybe a couple of times a month, because that helps like burn some of that extra stuff off of it. Yeah. Good point, Becky. Dancing. Yeah. Yeah. But really, if you are absorbing too much, especially from people that are close to you, get outside, touch a tree, get outside, put your feet on the ground, and really, really like start, especially if it's people that you can't get away from, start practicing that Reiki, like of being a conduit, of being, what do they call it? It's a conduit. It's like an empty vessel where you're just channeling their energy. You're absorbing it, but you're sending it right back out. You don't need to hold on to it. You can still help them, channel it out, send it out, give it to the earth, give it to spirit, whatever you got to do. Don't hold on to it. Yeah. Okay. Did not realize it was 10:20. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys for holding in, like hanging in there with me this long. I know, a little long-winded tonight, but I mean, I'm always long-winded. Shake it off. Yes. Dancing and literally like Taylor Swift, shake it off. I mean, I have a whole playlist on my phone just for that stuff. Hollow bone. Thank you. Alethea, thank you. I could not think of that term. Can you believe me? I mean, really. But I have a whole playlist on my phone of me like listening to some of that music just to like get it out. And Shake It Off is one of those songs. Yeah. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I love this group. Y'all are amazing. You're awesome. If you're watching this in the reruns, don't forget to check out The Beautiful Witch, La Hermosa Bruja, on Facebook, on Instagram. She is wonderful. She is a great practitioner. She is taking clients, and she has great merchandise. So make sure you check her out. And thank you for letting me stream to your Facebook page, Carrie. I always appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. This is going to be a great fall, y'all. It is. I hope y'all have the best week. And until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.